The alcohol wheel locks are very secure, very, very secure. Insurance will be very interested if you've got one of them, because that can reduce your premium. It is a bit tricky to line up, but once it's on, it's nearly impossible to get off, as in thieves having a go at it. Okay? Right. Another important thing, obviously, again with wheels as well, obviously tyre pressures. Make sure your tyre pressure is correct. I think it's got tyre pressure on it here. So you got your tyre pressure there, 64 psi. So we make sure that you check that each time you travel as well. Right. If you're going to move it off your side. Okay.
Yep.
Right. We'll go inside now then. Like car 12 volt type radio. Obviously volume. Press it, that mutes it. That's the on off button there, that little one there. Okay. And you've got your searches there. Obviously single play CD as well, which ejects there and automatically plays as soon as you put it in. You can eject the front off the radio if you want to store it for safekeeping. Not a lot many people do. You got, while we're here, 240 trips, 12 volt fuses, system shutdown button. What that does is shuts all your 12 volt system down, so it protects your battery if you got it in, when you've got it in storage. So especially if you're a motor mover, you're keeping the battery up reasonably charged. Obviously, after cold weather, it will reduce a bit. Yeah. Okay, so there's always some kind of 12 volt system running in the background, even though you think you switched everything off. Also, while we're here, reverse polarity. That's mainly for the continent. Obviously, they like to wire things slightly different than us. So what happens there is, if you plug your electric in, come inside, have a look. If that lights up, that means it is reversed. Okay, so what you need to do is unplug your electric. You're going to need an adapter to change to their the way they've wired it up. Okay, charger. It's got a charger for your battery, so as soon as you plug your 240 in, it will automatically start charging your battery. Space heater, which is your room heater, electric isolator, water heating on electric as well. Okay, so that's all of it. We'll go back to the water heating in a minute. Okay, I'll say that's nice and warm there, isn't it? I'll just turn that off. It's getting a bit warm. Okay, so this is your control panel. Okay, the control panel's asleep as such at the moment. I'll just press any button, it just lights it up. That shows 240 is connected. That shows your leisure battery is connected. Obviously water pump. I'll just switch that off for a second. If you want to view levels, which is your leisure battery, that shows you what voltage you got in your battery. Okay, it's showing 14 volts at the moment because that's going through the charger. So obviously the charger's boosting up to 14 volts. Normally you're looking at probably 12.5, 13. A good battery. But as long as you're connected to 240, that shouldn't be an issue of where that's up to anyway. Okay? So the first thing we need to do when we get in the van normally is get water into the van. Okay? So obviously we fill the alcohol up outside, connect the pipe obviously into it. Underneath this bunk, if you can see it from this angle, I'll just move you back. Pipe into it. And if you can see, if you can see for the angle under there, there's a yellow switch. Can you see that?
No, I can't see.
Yeah, just have a look. Just obviously make sure. You see, there's like a little yellow switch, which is a valve for draining your water. You see that?
No.
It doesn't help with that pipe bit in the way. But if I can just push that pipe down a bit, just see if we.
I can see there's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. In that position it's in at the moment, like that. That's allowing water to run around the system. If you lifted it up to that, so it's pointing up.
Yeah.
That will drain the water onto the ground. Okay.
Right.
So that will empty your hot water tank, and it also empties your water system if you've opened the taps. So if you open the taps as well, it will allow the water to drain out through there onto the ground.
Okay.
Okay. So obviously, if you've drained the water system previously, so say you're getting onto site now, and that's been drained previously, obviously you need to put that in that position, your water drain in that position, so then it's ready to receive water. Okay.
Yeah.
And before we switch the water pump on, make sure taps are off, and that tap, you can see where that tap can go. If you've left it on and then you hit that button, you could have water everywhere. Right. So make sure that tap is over the top of the sink. Same with your bathroom as well, make sure they're switched off and ready to receive water. Then we can switch the water pump on. Okay, so a little light on there says water pump's on. So what we need to do now is, if you drained it previously, the system will be full of air now. Okay, obviously your water tank's empty, so that's going to be full of air. So what we do is, we need to get the air out and the water in. So all we do is open the tap. Okay, I've already primed this, so obviously we've got water coming in through. But normally what you would have is the air spluttering out of there. As the water comes in, they'll be pushing the air out through the tap. See, it's still got a bit of air in the system now. So what it'll be is spluttering until it goes solid.
Right.
Okay. To fill the hot water tank, so more or less straight away, turn it to the hot side of the tap. Open that up. That'll be pushing the air out of the hot water tank, and this will be spluttering with all air in it. Once it's a solid stream like that, obviously it takes a bit longer than that, obviously, but that's it. It's full. The hot water tank's full. I don't know if you want to put your hand underneath there, but it's a bit warm. If you can see the steam coming off it.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously I've had it all up and running and heated already. Okay, do the same with all the other taps, so you make sure you get all the air out the system.
Do you have to do it with the shower as well?
Yeah, every tap, make sure you get all the air out the system. Because what happens, the pump works on a pressurised system. So as soon as you open a tap, obviously the pressure goes, so the pump comes on. And as soon as you put the tap down, the pressure builds up and it shuts the pump off. If there's air in it, it'll take longer to shut off. If there's water in it, it's obviously more solid, it'll shut off a lot quicker. Okay?
Yep.
You happy how you get the water in? Yeah? Right.
I think I'll be watching the video again.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Problem is, I've given you that much information to fill your head up already outside that you come in here, then there's more to think about. But again, that's why we're doing that. Because obviously that makes life a lot easier. And you can look back and think, what did he say now? I can't remember. Right, to heat the water, you've got the options of electric or gas, or you can use actually both. Okay, so as we saw before, water heater on electric, so that's off. That's on. Okay, so that's now heating the water in the hot water tank on electric.
Right.
Okay.
So if that's off, it uses the gas then?
Yeah, if you switch the gas on, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can use either or. Most of the time, if you're on a pitch you've paid for, normally you paid for the electric, so you're less likely to use your gas. So you're more like, but you still want to light it up on gas every now and again, because if you don't light it on gas, you leave it for a longer period, it doesn't want to light.
Right.
So make sure you light it up every now and again. Very important, this one, right? If you empty that hot water tank, make sure that switch is off. Okay? If that switch is on and that hot water tank is empty, it's like trying to boil a kettle with no water in it. It's going to damage your element. Okay? So make sure when you leave it and you're going to drain it, make sure you switch that off before you drain it. Okay? So I'll leave that off now. Okay? To heat it on gas, nice and close. To heat it on gas is this one here. So if you look, we've got two controls here. One says ultra heat, one says ultra store.
Yeah.
Ultra store, if you imagine that storing your hot water, ultra heat is heating your room.
Right.
Okay? So this is heating the water on gas. If you can see that there's a green light on inside there,
Yeah.
that's to show that the gas is lit. Okay? I'll just, to switch it on and off, is that outer ring there. So if I turn that outer ring, you've obviously got that little gas flame there as well, just to show you that's what it is.
So if you were using just the electric, then you just keep that off?
Yeah, you don't need to use that. You can use both if you want to get the water heated up rather quickly. Obviously, you saw how hot it can get. Yeah, but you don't need to use both, especially in the summer. It's fine on electric anyway, but I tend to use electric all the time. Most people do. If it fails, so if the gas fails to light, a red light will come on.
Right.
To indicate that it's not lit. Okay, it will obviously shut the gas off. So the reasons why it's failed: one, that lid or that cover I showed you outside. If that's on, it won't allow that to light. Okay. Other reasons are you've either got no gas or you haven't switched the gas on. Okay, so obviously you need gas for it to work. Or if you haven't used it for a while, it sometimes gets air in the system. Okay, so if there's air in the system, so if you've checked all the other bits, it's obviously air in the system. But the best thing to do is switch that off. Obviously check, make sure all the others, obviously you've got gas, you turn the gas on and you've got the cover off. Best thing to do is fire your cooker up so you know you've got gas running. Okay, obviously switch it off again and turn it on again. It may take 2 or 3 attempts to do that, but it will light in the end. Okay, depending on how long it was since the last time you lit it. Okay? The difference between heating on water and gas, heating with electric, it's thermostatically controlled at 70 degrees. With the gas side of it, you've got more control over it. Okay, so you can go down to 30 degrees if you want to. Okay? And that switches it off. Okay, so that's your water heating. You happy with the water heating?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, room heating next. Obviously again we've got that button up here which is your isolated for your Space heater, that's your room heater. Okay, so that switch is on there. This is your room heating, ultra heating your room, yeah. You've got options of 500, 1000 and 2000 watts. So you imagine like a 3-bar fire. That's the energy you're using. Just trying to see because of how light it is. There is a green light in there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's a faint glow. Yeah. If I switch that off, that won't have that green light's gone off.
Right.
Okay, so if you want to run on electric and that you can't see a light on there, just check this. Make sure that's on. Okay. Obviously the outer ring turns it on or off. You've got a thermostat control in the centre. Okay. So what it's actually doing is heating an element behind the fire. Okay. There is a gas element behind there as well. Don't use both of them together. Okay, I'll just switch the electric side off. This side is your gas. Okay, to fire your gas side up of your heater, what you do is turn that, press it down. And if you just hear it clicking then, obviously it's firing up. And there's a window here. If you look at that more or less that angle there, you can see the flame at the back of the heater. Okay? And switch it off, just bring it back to 0. This side of it is your fan. Okay, if you've seen, there's vents strategically placed around the van. Obviously with the fan, obviously it pushes the warm air out through the different vents. So obviously with heating, always have a fan running. Okay, there's 2 sides to the fan. Centre is off. A is automatic. So what that does, that's thermostatic control. So as the heater warms up, the fan increases. Okay, this side of it is manual. Okay, and that's the control there, so you can change the speed of the fan,
right,
whichever you need. Okay, always have some kind of fan running, as I said before. Another reason is so the unit doesn't overheat. Okay, also you can use the fan on its own without heat. So in the summer, hopefully we've got some nice warm weather, it'll circulate the air around instead. It obviously won't cool it down, but it'll just be pushing the air around the van. Okay?
Yeah.
Good, I'll leave that just running just to cool it down a bit. Okay, so that's your heating, that's your water heating. Okay, up to now?
Yep.
Good. Fridge. Fridge will again run on electric or gas. Okay, on off button is there. There's this little tiny button there. You can see there you've got a light, nice blue light on, which glows nicely in the dark. Might keep you awake. The LCD screen is asleep at the moment. Just press any button and it will light the screen up. Okay. It's running on gas at the moment. See that flame there?
Yeah.
Right. If I press this button here to the left, that will change whichever energy I want to use. So that's electric. So that's now running on electric. If I press it again, that's operating what would be off your car battery or your car alternator as it's running. Right. So that's only for when you're travelling with your car connected. Okay. So it won't cool the fridge down. All it'll do is maintain the temperature. Okay. So you need to cool the fridge down before you're travelling to be able to use that.
Right.
Okay. It will still operate, but it won't cool it down. Okay. If you see there, it's got the blue flashing light now,
yeah,
and it's also got a spanner there. What that is detected is it's obviously a failure because it detects that the car's not there. Okay, so that will tell you it's a failure. If that flashes and you've got a spanner there on the gas, that means the gas hasn't lit. Okay. Reasons why gas hasn't lit, again, you obviously either got no gas or you haven't turned the gas on, or as per the water heater, it's got air in the system. If you use it on electric all the time, obviously it gets air in the system, and it makes it more difficult to light. So every now and again, fire it up on gas. You don't need to run it for too long, but just fire it up every now and again. So if it does fail on the gas, and it's got that blue flashing light, switch it off. Okay, so totally switch the fridge off. Give it a few seconds to reset. Again, if you haven't already, fire up your cooker, just make sure you've got gas running. Then start it up again. It may take 2 or 3 attempts if you haven't fired it up again on gas for a while, and then it will reset. Okay? So that's on gas now. If you hear that just clicking, fire up then. So normally you can hear it firing up. Okay? Happy on how you get the energies on? Yeah. Obviously after a while the screen goes off. This side of it is your temperature range. All 5 lit up. That means that's the coldest the fridge is going to be. So if you just press that, it just keeps going round and round and round till you get the setting you want. Obviously in the summer you're probably going to need more of them lit up than in the winter. If you're on like all 5 and you're buttons coming out frozen solid. Obviously it's too cold, so just